If you can't believe it's already time for the January end of the month roundup, I'm right there with you. Somehow we blinked and we're almost in February. Well, let's get started. First up, if you have ever looked at the Leading Fleets application and thought, sure, I'll do that when I have time to reorganize the shop and answer every email ever, this one is for you. The big point is the application is not just a shot at recognition. It doubles as a real self-audit if you treat it like one. And the judges made it pretty clear what separates submitted from standout. This year, judges are looking for clean, consistent numbers, plain language, and a story that explains the why behind the work. They also lean into transparency. Our judges are encouraging fleets that if something went sideways, explain what you changed and what happened next. That reads as leadership, not a blemish. Staying on the Leading Fleets thread, the blueprint story is a good reminder that there is no single playbook and that this is kind of the point. One of the lines that stuck with me was the idea that success is as unique as your fingerprint. From there, it got practical fast. Raleigh's example centered on a people before projects culture paired with process cleanup, including tightening parts procurement so bays stop being held hostage by delays and paperwork. Buckeye's example focused on capacity and throughput with a facility expansion and preventive maintenance choices tied to real-world use, like paying attention to idle time. It read like the unglamorous work that actually moves uptime. Then there's the leadership piece, and it opened with Shakespeare, which is a move, and I can say that because I put that together. The takeaway was not to be inspiring, so to speak, but more about being intentional. The story looked back at what leaders emphasized in 2025, especially the stuff that holds up when the pressure shows up. It leaned hard into trust, empathy, and making sure you have time for technicians, but also highlighting structure. Sacramento's example was about tightening systems across multiple shops so expectations are consistent and routine checks move out of paper limbo. The vibe was simple. If you want people to do the right thing, build the kind of workflow that makes the right thing the easy thing. Now, the story that probably made a lot of you stop scrolling, it was all about the pug. And no, I'm not talking about the dog, though they are cute, but it was about Pug, the autonomous marked patrol unit being piloted with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office through the policing lab. This wasn't as sci-fi as you might think, and it's not a replacement for officers. It's framed as a way to stretch coverage when staffing is down and visibility still matters. The vehicle can operate most of the day, feeds cameras, license plate recognition, and even a tethered drone into a real-time crime center, and the team behind it talked openly about acceptance as the first hurdle. They even leaned into a literal pug image to make the first impression less Big Brother and more, what is that thing doing in my neighborhood? And from what the fleet angle looks at, the story goes into who owns what maintenance looks like, and how they are trying to make it feel like just another unit, not a special headache. Finally, the Green Fleet reality check. What if BEVs aren't the answer? The story was less anti-EV and more about the gap between the promise and the current economics, especially for government fleets already living with infrastructure costs. The article argued we are in a reset moment, with hybrids and range-extended approaches looking more attractive in some use cases because they can deliver efficiency gains without forcing a new charging footprint overnight. And since it is now 2026, consider this your friendly nudge that award season is wide open. If you're sitting on a story that deserves the spotlight, apply. If you know someone who has been quietly carrying the load and moving the profession forward, nominate them. The forms are live for programs like Leading Fleets, Public Sector Fleet Manager of the Year, and Hall of Fame, as well as Police Fleet Innovators. So you can pick the lane that fits you and get it on the calendar before the year gets away.